Hi. Okay, hi guys. Welcome to our information session. I'm the director of PR in China. You can call me Charlotte.
And my name is Grace, and I'm the public relations for internationals. We really welcome you to this year's information session for YGS 2025. Um, so we'll just do a brief little introduction to what YGS is, because you guys should already be familiar with what YGS is if you are attending these info sessions. So it's basically the flagship event that we're held by Genting Academy of Peking University. And it's basically providing a platform and a place for people like you guys who are like emerging leaders who are going to become the most global leaders all across the world. So we have you guys from different places to come together, come here in China to have like this dialogue with interdisciplinary topics that are related to China. So this year for YGS 2025, it will be from the 17th to the 20th of April, and it will be in China as well. And our theme is Fortitude, which talks about navigating the tides of change. So what can we offer you guys? So as you know, it's fully funded trip from all the way from your application, flights, accommodation, and all of that. And you get to come here, talk with different people from all around the world, engage in panels, and have loads of different speakers who are going to come from all different types of walks of life and into disciplinary areas, and also be able to like explore and learn about China, learn about the culture, and have those really exciting social events. We have some really good things planned for you guys, and also to establish friendships with people from all different parts of the world. You don't even know like how many good forms of friendships have formed because of YGS. And also a good opportunity for you to learn about what YCA Yenching Academy is, and even possibly apply for the coming year.
Okay, and then we'll showcase you some past YGS highlights. These are all the pictures from the former YGS forums. You can see that in the last year, we have invited very prestigious speakers such as Olympic champions to attend our forums and discussions. And in 2023 forum, we went to Hainan together, and people got an immersive experience to experience the Hainan culture and also visit the enterprise and the free trade zone there. It gave people a wonderful experience. And if you flash back, even in pandemic eras, the Yanqing Global Symposium was still held in the online form. We invited speakers from around the world to engage in an online conversation together, and it still created wonderful memories for people. And then we'll showcase some information about our application. This year, we set up an early bird stage. It's due on 19th December, December, and we'd like people to come and apply as early as possible, because we are reading application on a rolling stage. So the earlier you apply, the earlier that you've got, maybe the more you've got a chance to get in, and the standard stage is due on the 2nd January. So and also you can if you do not need to email to check your application status, because we will send out the offer letters in March 2025. If you haven't received any acceptance letters before that, then you may consider your application unsuccessful. So just check your mailbox if you've got the offer letter. And next, it's our what we are looking for in applicants. What we are looking for enthusiasm and motivation for our symposium, both the theme this year and also your interest in China. These two are both very important, so that's why we we invite you to answer some questions on both on what makes you interested in studying China or in symposium in China, as well as your elaboration of our theme this year, which is fortitude. To prepare for that, we strongly suggest you to consider motivation of applying for this forum and why you want to come to China. And also, we've provided some basic information on our theme this year, and you can also elaborate the theme according to your own understanding and your professional field. So we will want to hear a unique voice from you about your understanding of China and the theme, just in terms of your basic professional background. Also, what is very important is that you need to meet all the eligibility criteria listed on our FAQ page. I know there are a lot of questions on that, but it's good. It's very important for you to go through everyone to see if you have meet the criteria. For example, you need to have your English score that meets our condition, or you also need to be available from April 17th to 20th. Also, what's very important is that from your application materials, we hope to see the strong leadership qualities and also your curiosity towards China. We'd like you to be genuine, to show yourself, and see your leadership potential from your past experience and your enthusiasm toward China. And the answer should be thoughtful and also precise. And then it's what we're not looking for in applicants. First is the command of English is very important. You can check the English score requirements when applying for forums. The second is all content in the application should be your own work. We are not accepting plagiarism, as well as some AI generated content. You can use AI to assist your application, but the answer wholly written in AI is unacceptable. Third, yes, it's also the AI generated content is very important. If we found out that all of the content is AI generated, we will dismiss the application. Also, we hope to look for from unique insights. So so that's why or simply copying and pasting would not work while applying. Last, we'll give some additional tips and let a past delegate to talk about her own experience.
So basically, final tips and tricks which are going to help you in your application process is definitely read our FAQ section on our website. We have done extensive work on this, making sure it's up to date. All the questions and information that you may have been answered on the FAQ section. So definitely read it and read it carefully. Be selective with your answers. So we know that you guys are all from different backgrounds, from different education standards and all of this. And we really want to see you. We want to see your uniqueness and how you can bring something to the symposium, how it's relevant for you and for your future career and prospects. So we really want to see that uniqueness in it, and which is how it's really shown in that video. So we want to see you shine through that. And then, yeah, how you know YGS, what you think of YGS, what you think that we're looking for, and how you fit the requirement. And finally, yes, be bold with your answers, be creative. We want to see you showcase what you have to bring for YGS, and also submit your applications early. We made a special early bird, as Charlotte already explained. So we really want you guys to take use of this. So now we're going to invite one of our past delegates from 2024, Malu, to speak on her experience. So it's not just us talking about what YGS is, what you guys can bring, but also to hear from someone who has done YGS. So Malu, you want to join.
Yes. Hello everyone. My name is Malu. I'm from Brazil. I'm currently a master's student here in China, so this connection with China was not only during the symposium, but something that lasts longer. So yeah, my I think it's very special that there is like a specific session for questions like from people from North and South America. So I wanted to share a little bit of my experience. I think it was like an event that is not I've never seen an event quite like this one. It was full of people like from many backgrounds and people that were really engaged and really wanted to contribute to the discussions. So we would have like many panels in different subjects, and even for me it was interesting because sometimes I'm sure like everyone has its own interests and everything, but like you can learn so much more. Like I came with interest in three specific panels, but then I went to a panel that I didn't even know I would like. I didn't even know much about the topic, and I would leave knowing more and knowing different perspectives about things that were happening here in China that I would never research on my own, for example. So it was really nice. It's also really nice for people that want to experience China in a way that is also connects with culture. We had besides the panels, we had activities. We also got to meet the campus. The second picture is on the lake in Peking University campus, and we had I chose to have the Peking opera class. So it was really nice to have this mix of cultural activities with academic activities and being able to just connect with people from all over the world. Yeah, those are my Brazilian colleagues. They are students at Yenching, and I was the only other Brazilian, so we kind of stick together in that context. But it was really nice. I recommend to everyone like to just apply. I applied not even thinking that um like it was so many people, so you never think, oh yeah, it's gonna be easy, it's gonna be, but I recommend everyone to apply. They are very organized, so they just answer all your questions. It's very easy after like you get your approval letter to apply for your visa, to do everything that you need to do. They give you like lots of support in that sense. That is also many people's worries about it. So yeah, in general is that it was like a very transformative experience for me. It was 4 days, and I used to joke because it was it took me longer to get into leave China than to stay here, and it's still one of my fondest memories because of everything that I learned and everyone that I met. So yeah, I just have good words and uh, good memories from that event. Yeah, and thank you, girls, for giving me this opportunity to share a little bit about this experience.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. If anyone has any questions specifically for Malu, feel free to leave them in, come off mute or put them in the chat is also okay.
Yeah, can also feel free to just ask questions and not muting your mic. Any questions can be for asking us or asking Malu.
So for the first question concerning the video statement, would it be acceptable to upload the video to my personal website, or is a specific platform you recommend? As long as we can view your video. If it's on the personal website, as long as it's public and you send a link and we can view the video, then that's also okay. But YouTube, Bilibili, any of these platforms are also okay to upload to.
As long as it's a public website and we can view, then it's okay. We're stressing it's a public website is because we don't we know each country maybe has their own storage application, so we don't want to mess everything up. So that's why we're asking, as long as it's public, whether it's personal website or other platforms, it's all right, as long as we can access to it. And the second question is the exact number of vacancies. Every year we're accepting about 100 delegates to come to our forum. So basically the number should be around 100. So that's the number of people that we are looking for. And also, but we don't have a specific percentage allocated to South America, North America. We are not. As long as you have shown your enthusiasm in China, as well as your leadership potential, also meet all of the criteria, then we're happy to have you.
Currently studying Chinese. So as the Yenching Global Symposium, it is based from Yenching Academy. You will know about what Yenching Academy is. You'll get to speak to those current cohorts who are in Yenching Academy, so you can hear about their personal experiences. But in terms of having specific talks with universities is not really the purpose or the idea for the symposium. It's more so about talking about global issues and concerns that affect the world, and how we as different people from different countries can come together and talk about these. But it's not necessarily a career talk. In regards to the English certificate, we do have a list of different types of certificates that you can provide. However, if you have not necessarily taken a standardized English test, or your English test is considered as invalid, that's also okay. But we do consider you guys to mention like how many years you have learned or used English. And if you've studied it for like your undergraduate or your master's, or you've done like some type of like diploma in English, is also okay. We just want you guys to showcase that your English is at a high proficiency level, that you're able to have these in-depth conversations. That's what we're mostly looking for.
Yeah. We listed some test scores like TOEFL, like IELTS, or Cambridge C1, like that. We want to give you a reference about what we are expecting from your English level. If, for example, if you have an invalid TOEFL score, that's also all right, or we're working English environment, as long as you think that you meet the basic criteria equivalent to these test scores.
And also, if you may not necessarily have like, you don't necessarily meet these requirements, we will conduct these on a case-to-case basis. especially if you're able to showcase your creativity, your individuality, and we will base it on your application on that. And the next question is for Malu. Which
Okay.
own culture expertise did you consider were the most important in your application?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, in my application, just like the girls mentioned, I wrote like very specific and very concise way, in a way that I could demonstrate what I wanted. And I feel like it's important for you to try to show about your experience and about your perspectives in each of the questions. So I would always connect, and I would always mention like because for me this is important because it's a global south perspective, and this connects with this thing, and also connects with something that I study. So I feel like when you are able to show yourself through those answers, like those are academic answers, but you need to be able to show your perspective. You need to be able to demonstrate that this is just not you reading from a book. This is you as a scholar, as a researcher, as a student, wants to show the world, wants to connect with China, wants to answer those questions. So for me, the most important is for you to be able to connect your experience, your own view with the the answers that you need to give during the application. So yeah, I would always mention, because my research is about China, and it's a comparison between China and Brazilian law system. So I would always mention that I'm trying to bring Brazilian and like my country's perspective about those issues and why it's important. So yeah, that's what I recommend the most.
Exactly. Great answer. We also agree. Next question, does the trip must be round trip or could it be flexible? Since it is fully funded, including your flights, we book your flights. So it is a round trip and these dates are set. So if you have any issues or problems, that is one of the eligibilities for you to apply, that you must be able to attend the symposium in its full form, and for these dates.
Yeah, and we have sent offer letters. You need to confirm again whether or not that you are acceptable with the date and the time range, so that we can book your tickets. Since once we have booked your tickets, there's no way to refund that.
We also have one of our delegate teams here.
Yeah, Jingyuan, could you introduce yourself and also answer other application-related questions?
Hi, yes, I'm so sorry for hopping on late. There were some difficulties along the way. And I can't appear to fix my camera on time, so I'm sorry you can't see me, but everyone can hear me. Is that correct? Okay, brilliant. Hi, my name is Xing Yuan. I'm one of the director of delegates for this year's YGS 2025. So, as Charlotte and Grace has already kindly gone through the content of the slides, the directors of the delegates this year will be the primary team that screens through the applications that come through for YGS this year. We very much look forward to reading your applications, but I think there is one point that the team cannot emphasize hard enough. That is the use of AI and plagiarism. I'm sure that Charlotte and Grace, you've already gone through our stand on integrity And we want to emphasize that we reserve every right to suspect AI-generated content, and that is something that YGS is very strict on. And we hope that we wouldn't have to come to this stage where we doubt AI-generated content has been used in your application. But yes, I'll be here to answer any questions if you'd like. And I'm seeing one in the chat. Do you think it's better to showcase academic experience rather than work experience? Showcasing my interest in China, voluntary work counts. So thank you, Alexandra, for this question. As you may know already, it's an academic conference as well. But granted, while this is largely an academic event, we definitely value both academic and work experiences, because I think it's the culmination of both factors that really demonstrate you and your abilities. So I would say that both are equally important. Voluntary work, please feel free to add them in. I think it adds to your character as well as your experiences besides just in China. But the key challenge is to try to squeeze your responses to the word limit, which is something that is an added challenge for all of our applicants. I think one of the points that was mentioned earlier is also about being able to express your arguments convincingly. And I think that is also one of the challenges that we expect of all of our applicants. So I hope that answers your question, Alexandra. Karen asks, why is the CV limited to only one page? Can I upload some certifications at the additional documents section alongside my transcripts? Again, I think the limitation of one page is something that we hope that we expect all applicants to stick to. Limiting your CV to one page has a couple of benefits. One, not only does it encourage our applicants to really decide on what you feel is important, that demonstrate your abilities, and be selective about your skills and abilities that you want to demonstrate to us. And I think that's one of the more important reasons for limiting the CV to being one page. The simple advice I think that the directors of delegates can provide is to be specific, selective, and be able to streamline your application to what you think YGS is currently looking for. And I think that's the key message of this question. Please feel free to upload your certificates and your additional documents section, although they would be additional materials that we can review, but more importantly, we want to emphasize that the primary selection criteria is still your responses, your essay responses, your video responses, as well as your eligibility for the symposium. Additional documents are welcome. Your transcripts are welcomed as well, in order for us to be able to assess you holistically. So the short answer is your CV has to be one page. This is a requirement that we cannot give in, and any documents you feel that will help you in your application to demonstrate your abilities, they are all welcome. Okay, next few questions. We've got Yuhan Chen. Can I upload the short video on YouTube? Yes, we welcome any sort of videos, platforms. You can do it on YouTube, Bilibili, any platform that is deemed available in your country, your region, your home. Go for it. I think the main point is to make it public, because it would be a huge shame if applicants put in so much effort into creating this short video only to forget that it's a private link. I think that would be a very, very big shame, because it is one of the areas that we are considering to assess your application, and it will be a very big shame if the video is not within reach. So please, please, please remember to make it public. And I think that would help not just us, but also the applicants in demonstrating your abilities. Okay, keep the questions coming. I'm very happy to answer these questions. So Hansel asks if you're accepted because of circumstances X, Y, and Z. I like the math. But we can't make it for family emergencies. Can we defer acceptance for next year? Okay. So this is a tough question. Not because of selection or application criteria, but rather we understand that emergency circumstances do crop up along the way. We respect emergency circumstances that may arise, and we can understand if that was to happen. However, while you can defer your acceptance to the, while you can, no, let me rephrase that. You will still be able to apply in the next year, but your application will be assessed relatively to that year's quality. So suppose you're accepted this year, it is never a necessary condition for you to be able to be accepted again next year. It will be contingent on the overall application quality in each year. So the short answer is yes, we can understand emergency circumstances might arise, but at the same time, we cannot guarantee your acceptance next year. Okay. All right. Daisy, if one has adequate professional academic experiences with diplomas, voluntary experience, strong leadership skills, age is also above 22 plus, everything is perfect. But that person is not in the final year or graduate due to certain reasons. Is it acceptable? I think one of our criteria is also to be in your final year of either bachelor's or you've already have had a degree. So with that in mind, you can always refer to the FAQs for the specific criteria. If we deem that your circumstance does not fulfill any of our mandatory requirement, unfortunately, we will not be able to accept your application. Yeah. What type of background should an applicant have to meaningfully contribute to the discussions? So thanks, Danny, for that question. I think this is one of the questions that we most that we hear the most from potential applicants. I think more importantly, it's also the attitude in terms of being able to not just absorb, understand, and take in the information that's discussed in the panels. It's also one that is an environment where you have to contribute. So I think the base requirement would be having a professional level of working English proficiency, but at the same time being receptive to newer ideas, being open to newer perspectives, and being comfortable to speak within a crowd. We are not looking out for specific academic fields. In fact, because this is a interdisciplinary symposium, we encourage people of different fields, vast fields, to apply and see how you can contribute your technical knowledge, your technical expertise into a wider ecosystem of Chinese-related dialogue. So the short answer is we're not looking for a particular background. We use a holistic method to assess applicants. And we definitely hope that at the minimum, you would be able to contribute to discussions and provide your thoughts, your experiences in English. So that's the answer of what an applicant should have to meaningfully contribute to discussions. Right. So one more that's from Daisy. Is it okay to upload in an unlisted format on YouTube rather than public? If it's unlisted or other forms, because I can answer this in a more general sense. Besides just YouTube, I think the safest way is to upload a video and access it from another browser. Access it from incognito. Ask a friend to access it. I think that would definitely maximize your chances of uploading your video on any video streaming platform. As long as another account or as long as another individual is able to access your video, that would guarantee your video being able to be seen by us. Does that make sense? Okay, I think that is the last few questions, but feel free to ask any more questions if anyone has. But yeah, I think I would re-emphasize again with this time that I have, besides our stand on integrity, but also the application deadline. We're looking at early bird closing at 19th of December. That is less than a week from now. And if the audience that we have today, if you haven't submitted your application, you're still not too late to join us for the early bird stage. And if due to any circumstance you're unable to submit before the early bird, there's always the standard applications closing on the 2nd of January. The stand is that we encourage as many people as we have to upload and submit your applications before the early bird, because this is on a rolling basis and it demonstrates your commitment to the to YGS as well, and that would also be very much appreciated. And I think that's us having the early bird stage for applicants to throw in the submissions early. And because our team is very excited to review your applications, we are very happy to have more applications. The earlier, the better. It's also unfortunate that if you do not receive any acceptance letters before March 2025, you can consider your application successful, even though we welcome applications next year or subsequent years for YGS as well. Okay, I'm seeing 2 more questions. What characteristics usually mean to you that the applicants demonstrate a strong interest in China? In fact, I think that is a question that should be asked back to the delegates themselves or the applicants themselves. What characteristics do you think demonstrate a strong interest in China? Because I think ultimately, while applicants and delegates have a wide range of abilities to demonstrate a strong interest in China, your interest, to the extent it's strong or weak, also reflects in how you write it and how you explain it. I don't think it's fair to say that applicants having joined a conference is someone who has strong interest in China, because we understand that visa-related issues, personal reasons, potential applicants or interested applicants may not have had a physical experience in China. So I think while we cannot compare, and we will never compare applicants in this manner, it is something up to the applicants to demonstrate your interest in China convincingly. Because even if you might not have a chance to step foot into China, even if YGS is your first time in China, I think the way you express your ideas will also hint and signal about your interest in the country, your interest in the program, and more importantly, how you express these interests is something that we are looking out for as well. Charlotte, Grace, if I'm eating too much of the time, please jump in to tell me. But I'm very happy to continue answering the questions because we've got a couple more. How much time are we looking at?
You still have time. Can finish the
Yeah,
questions off.
you can finish off.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, I'll go on. As a native Chinese speaker, do I need to prove my Mandarin or Chinese fluency? Thank you. For this question, because the symposium is primarily, in fact, the symposium will require a certain proficiency of English from you. So I don't think there's a concern or there's a worry with Mandarin fluency. Next, who reviews the applications? Do you have an academic evaluator or board for that? How long does it take if accepted after early bird? For the second part of the question, all the results of the applications will be released before March 2025. So while we accept applicants on a rolling basis, there isn't a specific fixed time before results are being released. But rest assured that the results will be released prior to March 2025. Who reviews the applications? We do have a board of evaluators that would be firstly trained and at the same time being aware of the specific circumstances of the applicants before they get reviewed. The directors of delegates will have a stake in the application screening process as well. So rest assured that the board will have full information of what you have submitted to us before reviewing actually begins. Okay. Is it for us to upload our obtained certificates that show our qualification in the additional documents? So I've mentioned this before, and I will emphasize it again. Documents that you feel would support your application, will support your claims, and support how you think will help us view your applications would be welcomed. So Arman asks, will early bird applicants be notified of decisions earlier than regular applicants? Now, I think this is similar to a previous question that we've had. We emphasize that applications will be screened on a rolling basis, but all decisions be released before March 2025. Some of this information can be found in our FAQs. So I'm directing everyone in this room, if you have the chance, sit down and go through the FAQs because you will find a lot more information from there over the course of applying. And yeah, I think that would be the last question in the list. Feel free to pop them in the chat. I'll still be here to answer any questions that you may have. But yeah, back to you, Charlotte and Grace.
So yeah, we just want to emphasize that applications have been opened, and you can apply on our website, which is here on the screen, yenchinglobalsymposium.com. And as Jinyuan has already explained, the early bird and the closing date, the final date to apply is the 2nd of January, but we urge you guys to apply during the early bird season. And if you have any questions, firstly, go to our FAQs. As we have already emphasized, we have done extensive work on FAQs, and your question is most likely going to be there. So check out the FAQs first, and then if you have any additional questions that may not have been answered there, then you can email us at the email that is given here. If anybody has any burning last questions that they want to ask in the last 5 minutes, you have a few minutes left. But just I want to say thank you guys for joining this session today and for giving your questions and just being attentive. I want to thank Malu for giving her experience, her time here to give you guys her thoughts and her experience of what YGS 2024 was like for her. And also for those who asked her questions, thank you for that too. And yeah, just appreciate you guys coming along.
Yeah, really appreciate you and asking so many insightful questions. That means that you do pay attention to our information and we can see your enthusiasm in applying. And if there are any last minute questions, feel free to pop in or any other formal questions that maybe you thought you still need more clarification.
And if not, thank you guys for coming and hopefully we'll see you in China in 2025. Best of luck with your applications and yes, do not hesitate to ask any questions.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.